All right, and you all are pleading on two cases, correct?
That's right.
All right. Court is going to call 2023 CR 8725 and 2023 CR 8727, State of Texas versus Terrence Bowie Jr. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Scott McCrum for Mr. Bowie.
All right. Are you Mr. Bowie?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in each of these cause numbers, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have, and I did.
And each cause number, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. It appears that you're proceeding on the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And in the cause number ending in 25, it appears that you're proceeding on count 2. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right. And counsel, the court knows that you're not the party who put the plea paperwork together.
They didn't follow my guidance on writing it down, so
All right.
that will be talked about.
All right, Mr. Bowie. I'm sorry, counsel, do you have any objections to the state proceeding on the lesser included offense and waiving counts in each of the indictment?
Let's break that down real quick. The defense just agreed to let the state drop the more serious charges and proceed with a lesser offense. This is a strategic legal move that often signals a deal is coming. And yes, it can mean the difference between probation and serious prison time.
No objection.
All right. And the cause number ending in 27, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. That's a 3rd degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. And the cause number ending in 25, the state is proceeding on the possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. That's a 2nd degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your probation were revoked, the court could find you guilty? And in the cause number ending in 25, the court could sentence you up to 20 years in prison. And in the cause number ending in 27, the court could sentence you up to 10 years in prison. And in each cause number, the court could sentence you up to a $10,000 fine as well. Did you understand?
Notice how the judge carefully outlines the maximum prison terms, 10 years on one count, 20 on the other. Why? Because even with a plea deal, the court needs to make sure the defendant fully understands the risks if probation gets revoked. That's a heavy warning hidden in polite language.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 8725, 2023 CR 8727. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense?
Scott McCrum for Terrence Bowie.
And you're Mr. Bowie?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're here for sentencing. And each of these cause numbers, you entered into a plea. And according to your plea agreement, punishments be assessed at a cap of 6 years. The state is silent on your applications and the cases are to run concurrently. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
There you go.
All right. And then the court was tendered a letter from Mr. Bowie's employment. Any objections to the court having read that?
There you go.
All right. The state is silent. Anything you wish to say on your client's behalf?
I would like the court to hear from a couple witnesses, Judge, if
Sure.
you don't mind, please. Shamika Bowie.
All right. If you'll, it's Bowie, BOWIE. Okay, sure. We'll,
SHEMEKA.
all right. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Shamika Boone.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss Bowie, how are you related to Terrence?
That's my nephew.
And where do you live, Miss?
I live maybe 5 minutes away from him.
And where are you employed? Where do you work?
Semester ES Suites downtown.
And I don't want to go way too far back, but like, let's say like the last year and a half, your relationship with Terrence and your interactions with Terrence, briefly tell the judge how much of your life he's a part of.
Well, I practically watched him grow up. I lost my husband 3 months ago. And he's been my support system. Me and my 11-year-old daughter comes and fix things at the house. Just, he's been my major support system to help me get through the death of my husband. He goes to the grocery stores for me, fixes my car when he don't know what he's doing. But he's a major help to me and my 11-year-old daughter.
How frequently do you call on him for some help in one way or the other?
Pretty often, because I'm depressed a lot with the loss of my husband. So I call him pretty often, pretty much every other day, sometimes 2-3 times a day.
That you need something or would like some help?
Yes.
And is he always responsive to that?
Every time.
What about before you lost your husband? When I understand your husband was ill for quite a while?
Yes, sir.
What was Terrence's interactions with you and your husband during that period that he was ill?
Well, he would come over there to give me like a 20-30 minute break and sit with his uncle and just help me out with him and things like that. He'll push him in the wheelchair outside when he was able to sit in the wheelchair. But he spent a lot of time over there with us.
Has he always been a positive influence to you and your family?
Yes.
That right there is powerful. A grieving aunt says this man was her rock, her mechanic, her grocery runner, her grief counselor. It's not just emotional, it humanizes him in front of the court, which can heavily influence a judge during sentencing.
Thank
Most
you.
definitely.
Pass, please.
All right, any questions? All right, thank you for coming in.
Judge, for listening to me, I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome.
I'd like to call Brandon Cooper, please.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Randy.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Cooper, how do you know Terrence Bowie?
I actually met Mr. Bowie toward the end of COVID. He was bringing another young man. I was a dispatcher at the time for a company called Home Delivery Link, also assistant manager. He brought another young man over to get a job. At that time, what we were doing there interests Mr. Bowie quite a lot, you know. So it became one of those, okay, how do I start my own business? How do I get my own LLC? So in between that time, I've just been constantly working with him, speaking with him day in, day out, month after month, trying to get him, you know, up to par, you know, getting his MC.
What is an MC, sir?
MC is a motor carriage permit, which allows drivers to be able to operate interstate. Normally, whenever you assume a contract, he's able to work locally. But if they needed him in Tennessee, prime example, they need him in Tennessee, what will have to happen, he has to have that MC, that motor carriage permit, in order to be able to take his truck, if he started an LLC, to go from one state to the other state in order to operate.
Okay. Now you covered a lot of stuff right there, so I want to break down just a little bit some of those things. When you first met him, it was in your capacity as running a business?
Yes, it was in my capacity as being an actual dispatcher, assistant manager at the time for a company called Home Delivery.
And what was that Home Delivery Link?
Home Delivery, we provide delivery service and delivery and installation service for Costco.
For Costco Foods?
Costco Foods, Costco Delivery, yes.
And you met him because he took a friend over to get a job there?
Yes, he did.
This lady's writing down what we're, listen, don't wait till I'm finished talking before you answer.
Understood.
You can't write close. And so after he met you, you're saying he took an interest in your business?
Yes, he did.
And how often did you talk to him? When was that? How long ago?
I want to say latter part of, it was in the fall.
Oh, you mentioned a COVID time, right?
COVID time, yes, it was in the fall.
At some point, did Terrence start working for you or covering shifts there?
What happened is Terrence made me aware he was working at another location, and he said that anytime that I needed help, that give him a call. Because he wanted to learn the business in order to start his business, to give him a call.
Is this when he was working at the bakery?
Yes,
And is my understanding his shifts at the bakery have always been 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.?
yes.
And how often would you call on him when you needed him to cover a shift?
Well, it just pretty much depended on, you know, if someone called in. We're contract delivery, so they don't have a set schedule as far as, you know, work whenever they would come. But I would call Terrence in the morning. If someone would call in and say, hey, I can't make it, I would call Terrence between maybe 6:15, 6:30. He'd say, I'm on my way. He would actually come. He would assume that job, being that they don't, like I said, they don't have a set schedule. So he will be there until they get done.
That's with your company.
Yes,
And he would go in after a full shift at the bakery all night, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., Then he would go over and help you cover a shift and work that whole day.
Yes, sir.
How often would he do that?
I want to say in a month's time, and it's really depending on the frequency of whoever's not there. So one time it'll probably be 4 to 5 times.
So a lot of times over the last couple of years
Yes,
that he'd go in and work shift after he worked the
Yes.
whole night shift. Have you kept in contact with him other than just covering shifts? Have you gotten to know him?
I have. He's always, he'll call whenever he hears about another contract or an opening or something like that. He'll ask, do you know about this location? What are their requirements? If I know of that location, what are their requirements, and how would he go about, obtaining the LLC?
So is it fair to say that he has shown an ambition to better himself and to look toward his future in creating business opportunities for him?
Most definitely.
For
Most
himself.
definitely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Pass the witness.
No question.
All right, thank you.
One last witness, Your Honor. Darrell Richardson, please. Right here, sir.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
Yeah, Richardson.
All right,
Thank you,
begin.
Judge. Mr. Richardson, how do you know Terrence Boone?
He's my next door neighbor,
How long have you lived next door to him?
like 2 years.
And are you employed, sir?
I know, but disabled.
Disabled?
I'm sorry, can you?
Disabled.
Go to the back.
Just move up, please.
Disabled.
Thank you.
And so you've been neighbors with him, next door neighbors, for 2 years now?
Yes.
And tell the judge about some of your interactions with Terrence over the last 2 years.
Because I'm a decent mechanic, a regular mechanic. He always asks me questions about the cars. Like he said, he's working on a lady car, asked me a question about what's good and what's bad. He would always come around every other day, ask questions.
Okay, and what about as far as helping you with things around the house? Do you ever find a need to call on Terrence that you need his help with something?
Oh, yeah, I had surgery on my leg. He would help me with that.
Like what?
I was in a wheelchair.
Okay, so what kind of things would he do for you?
Push me out the wheelchair because I don't have a ramp. Take me outside on the stairs.
Okay, what about around the house with any things around the house, fixing up the house or chores or
No, he,
anything like
he
that?
was mentor my son.
Pardon me?
He was mentor my son.
And that's your son in the red shirt in the back of the courtroom? How old is he?
He's 13.
And so his interactions with your son, you said he would mentor him?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Not getting into trouble. Don't hang with the wrong crowd.
So try to talk to him about being positive in life?
Yeah, because we live in a rough neighborhood.
Okay, and where's that, sir?
East side,
Where on the east side?
off Martin Luther King.
Okay. Were there occasions that you would have to have work on your car and you needed help doing that work?
He would be right there.
He would be right there. You'd call on him?
Sir.
Did he ever ask for payment
Oh, no.
when he helped you?
No.
What are your impressions of Terrence as a man?
He's a good man.
Thank you, sir. Pass the witness.
See? All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Judge, the pre-sentence accurately reflects Terrence's history.
So this is what I want to know, and this is the $1,000,000 question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is he in custody?
The bondsman went off his bond. They couldn't contact him, is my understanding, right?
That's three.
Is it because the bondsman went off the bond?
Yes, ma'am.
You
Oh.
called, you had called and I went up there immediately right after. And I went Friday too.
Oh, well, let me have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Parents school.
All right, so why are you in custody?
I called you.
I dropped, yeah, you called me. They contacted my lawyer and said that I was off the bond. I dropped my phone and cracked it. I actually went to the bail bondsman twice last week and to ask them Friday, asked them when my court date, recently Friday, and they called the court and they still gave it to me. So I didn't think that they was off my bond. But when whoever contacted my lawyer, I went immediately right down the street because my phone was broken and they said that they'll be back on it. She contacted the owner.
Okay,
And I'd like to offer just on that subject, Judge, the bondsman, the reason I know is because they had called me that they couldn't contact him. He had changed his number. I did give them his number and I called him and I said, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, that's all I needed to know.
Okay,
All
good
right.
enough.
All right. So here's the thing, Mr. Bowie, I want you to understand something. I've read the PSI report, and I understand that sometimes people become addicted to drugs. Sometimes it's prescription drugs. I see your issue with the OxyContin, and I understand that that's a drug that a lot of people are addicted to. And I think there was what was his name? There was, I'm not even going to mention their name, but there was a person who had a show on television, and they would say, all of these people who are addicted to drugs, they need to go to prison. And I don't understand why, they just need to go to prison and needs to be done and over with. And then we won't have this problem. The people who are addicted to drugs go to prison. The people who are addicted to drugs and maybe sell drugs to support their habit, they go to prison, problem solved. And then you know what ended up happening to that?
Whoa, did you catch that? The judge just flipped the script with a real-life hypocrisy check. Even public figures who once preached lock them all up for drug use eventually faced addiction themselves. That's the kind of insight that reshapes justice and possibly saves lives.
Person, they were addicted to OxyContin, and then somebody gave them a chance. And as I was watching that, I was thinking how hypocritical that until it touches you, you're fine with everybody going to prison for using drugs, right? So here's the thing. I've heard from your neighbors, and it's hard, I know, to get a neighbor to just come in because they have their own life to live. I've heard from the person who you've answered the call for, as far as they need somebody to work, you come in. You always show up to court dressed appropriately for court. No offense to the attorneys, but sometimes he shows up dressed better than the attorneys do. And I'm not
talking about.
I'm
Judge?
not looking at anybody, but he does. So I do.
And that's after a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift, Judge, that he
Yes.
comes into court.
And he's always on time.
Yes, ma'am.
So sometimes I can give people choices. Sometimes I cannot give people choices. Deputies always say the probation I give is a difficult probation. I think your attorney will probably agree with that. So I'm going to give you a choice. Here are your choices. The state has offered you a cap of 6. I can place you on probation, or I can sentence you, and I'll sentence you to 2 years prison. So those are your choices. You can go to prison, or you can be on probation with the court. And if you want to talk to your attorney about that, you can.
I already know probation with the court. I want to be here with my daughter born.
Okay.
Plus, I don't know if it's in front of you as well, Judge, is that you ordered from the first time he was in court to go UAs, regular UAs,
Yes.
every month. And he has, since that day, he hasn't used, and he's had clean UAs, and he said he'll be clean today.
Just be making one today.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do then is, let me see here. There was an application for deferred. I'm going to place you on deferred. But here's the thing about deferred. If you are unsuccessful, or if a motion to revoke is filed, you're subject to the full range of punishment. Do you understand?
I do the rest of the 6 years. I mean, in the
Hmm.
timing.
It don't matter. You're not going to get removed.
No, I ain't. I'm just saying I understand what she's saying.
Yeah, just make sure you understand what I'm saying. That if you end up getting a motion to revoke, like in the case number that is ended in 8725, if you're revoked on that, you're looking at 20 years in prison. On the case ended in 8727, if you're revoked on that, you're looking at 10 years in the prison. Do you understand? All right. Let me see. All right, probation in each of the cause numbers. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's going to be regular random UAs. But with your work hours, if you want, you can do the patch. The only thing is the patch costs more, but with the patch, they put it on you and they call you back in within a month and they tell you, come back in. You don't remove the patch, they remove it, and it will let them know if you were using drugs. So you can speak to probation about the cost of that as opposed to the regular random UAs, because regular random UAs, I require it. And what that means is if you're at your work, they'll call you, say, come in and do a UA. The most I allow people to do, I don't do that, oh, I'll be in the next day thing. I do that, all right, I'll come in on my lunch break. That's as far as leeway as you get. You understand?
Look, can you? Oh, I'll talk to them.
What?
Just 'cause they let me know in like a day in advance. You know, No. But it probably would be telling you. Because I go to work at 10 p.m. at night, and then if I wake up at 6, I probably will go to sleep when I get out of work. So any text message or call,
Here's the thing. You're just gonna have to make it happen.
got it.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to do the patch. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Each case will run concurrently. Do we have restitution in any of this for drug testing?
Judge, would just be restitution to SC.
All right, so take in consideration 2023 CR 8726. And there's to be restitution, if any, to SAPD for drug testing. Counsel, if you believe the amount is too high, we can have a restitution hearing on it. There is going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. How far did you go in school?
High school,
All right.
12th grade.
All right, so are you just planning on continuing doing what you're doing? Or are you going to, I know he was talking about your MC license. Is there anything else other than that?
Yeah, I breed dogs, but the MC license kind of stopped because of the case situation right here. I've been putting my funding into my lawyer,
Okay, what dogs are you breeding?
micro bullies.
Yeah,
What's wrong with that? Stop.
yeah. See, here's the thing. People are out here just breeding dogs and honestly, they haven't studied anything. They're not medical professionals. And when people breed dogs and they think, I want a purebred dog, this is what I know. And this is what I know from research. And this is what I know from watching the dog shows that are on television. Every single purebred dog has an issue. They have a medical issue. When people do the French bulldogs, those French bulldogs, the way they look now with the smashed in face, if you look back in history, that's not how that dog is supposed to look. People are like, oh, I want a cute little puppy, or oh, I want a micro pit. This is what I want. And you know what? It's damaging them. That's why some of them have hip dysplasia. That's why some of them can't breathe. That's why the French bulldog can't breathe, because people out here treating animals not as a living, breathing entity, but as property, which technically I can understand animals being property, but they're treating it as that and just want the aesthetics, not realizing the damage they're doing. And honestly, it's just a bunch of inbreeding that's going on.
I know exactly what you're talking.
And I don't see where you have time for that. So I can tell you right now, I'm not allowing that. You're on probation and I can say what I want to allow. So I'm not allowing you to breed dogs. If you want to breed dogs, then you go to somebody's university, some veterinarian's clinic, and work through that and tell me what issues are going to occur because of that. And if you're expecting a baby, I've seen so many videos and I don't know how parents do it. There was a video that was out that my mom told me about. This lady, they just had a newborn baby and they have a husky. And they're like, oh, look, the husky is jealous of the baby. It's sleeping in the baby's crib and barks when the baby goes to the crib. I'm like, that is foolishness. That husky is probably going to end up attacking that baby. And you don't need to be breeding dogs if you're going to have a newborn. And then the next thing you know, you're on the news crying because some dog has ripped your child to shreds. You understand? So I'm not allowing that. And whether it's a micro or whatever it is, you shouldn't be having pit bulls around your child. And I think that a majority of the time with pit bulls, it's all in the way they're raised. Because I have family members who have pit bulls. They're very nice. They're not looking to attack anybody. But then somebody raises an animal differently and they're looking to attack somebody. They used to, don't. They used to do that with German Shepherds, used to be the dog.
Rottweilers.
Dobermans, Rottweilers. It's all in the matter of you raise them. So no, I'm not allowing you to breed dogs, period. The end.
That escalated fast. The judge just dropped the hammer on dog breeding, and it's not just about the law. This is a public safety warning disguised as a sentencing condition. Her message: if you can't care for people or pets responsibly, you won't be doing either on her watch.
And there's no questions about that. If you want to breed a dog, you can do it after you're sentenced to prison for 2 years. And when you come out, you can do whatever you want to do. So do you still want to do this probation?
Oh, yeah, I do want to do probation. The breeding dogs, no.
All right, so it's 100 I'm going to allow him I'm going to order parenting classes. Once he completes that, then 100 hours will be waived. And the remaining 100 hours will be waived if he completes some sort of trade school.
Can I do the CDL?
Sure.
You can put me down for that.
And he's not allowed to breed any type of animal. So you're not breeding parakeets, you're not breeding goldfish, you're not breeding anything. Do you understand? Anything else, probation? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? And anytime you feel as though probation is getting too hard for you, you need to remember this moment where you almost went to prison for 6 years. Do you understand? From here on, we can go off the record. From here on out, everything you do, you need to ask yourself, could this potentially result in me going to prison for 20 or 10 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. People come to court, and when they come to court here, and your attorney will tell you this, they will tell me sometimes, Judge, if you give me probation, I can report every day for the rest of my life. I can be on probation for the rest of my life. I'll be just fine. And you know what ends up?
Here's your reminder. This man almost went to prison for 6 years. The judge gave him a lifeline, but warned him, probation isn't easy. It's not freedom, it's a test. And failure means goodbye for a long time. Think he'll make it? Let us know in the comments.
Happening, probation starts getting hard for them, and they don't remember they were this close to going to prison. Do you understand? All right, so Deputy Laura, he can be released from custody.
And just the ones he lifted?
Yes, the warrants will be lifted.
Thank you, Judge.